Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, the show where global chaos meets local confusion. And we try to figure out how one cargo ship halfway across the world somehow makes your gas tank cry and your grocery bill start using big words like premium. If the news cycle feels like it's been chugging espresso and wrestling alligators, don't worry, you are not alone. Grab a seat, grab a snack you can still afford, and let's try to untangle today's mess before it untangles us. Segment 1. Oil, boats, and World War Costco memberships. So apparently we woke up and decided to play bumper boats with Iran, except instead of a lake, it's the Gulf of Oman, and instead of a paddle boat, it's a 900-foot cargo ship getting shot in the engine like it owed somebody money. The United States seized this massive ship called the Tuska, and Iran responded by basically slamming the door on the Strait of Hormuz like a pissed-off dad yelling nobody's driving until further notice. That little stretch of water carries about a fifth of the world's oil, which means gas prices are about to hit harder than a raccoon in a trash can at 2 a.m. I saw $4 a gallon and almost tried to trade my truck for a bicycle and a prayer. When oil jumps that fast, you start looking at your lawnmower like it's an investment opportunity. Now here's the part that feels like ordering a burger and accidentally starting a bar fight. We're enforcing a blockade, Iran's firing drones, and everybody's acting shocked like this wasn't gonna escalate. It's like poking a hornet's nest and then complaining about bees. The grounded reality is this. Energy prices go up, everything goes up, and suddenly your grocery bill looks like it applied for a loan. And somehow the only thing not increasing is my paycheck, which is still stuck in 2014 like a flip phone. I swear if gas goes any higher, I'm gonna start drafting horses off Facebook Marketplace and naming one inflation. Segment 2, peace talks, deadlines, and group chat energy. So while all this is happening, we had peace talks planned in Pakistan, which is like scheduling a family dinner while your cousins are actively throwing chairs at each other. The US shows up with planes, security, the whole production, and Iran basically sends a text saying, "Yeah, we're not coming. Good luck, though." That's not diplomacy. That's getting ghosted on a global scale. Meanwhile, there's an 8 p.m. deadline floating around, like this is some kind of reality show elimination round. Nothing says stable global order like international relations run on the same timeline as pizza delivery. And I swear the rhetoric sounds like a group chat that went too far. Threats about knocking out infrastructure, counter-threats about hitting desalination plants, and I'm sitting here thinking we've turned international diplomacy into a Facebook argument with missiles. The real issue underneath all the yelling is neither side is willing to blink first, and that's how you end up turning a regional mess into a global disaster. It's like two guys arguing over who's tougher while the whole house catches fire behind them, and instead of grabbing a hose, they're measuring biceps. Meanwhile, regular folks just want the lights to stay on and the economy to stop acting like a rodeo bull hopped up on espresso. Segment 3. Gas prices and wallet hostage situations. Now let's talk about the part that actually hits home. Gas prices and inflation. Because nothing brings geopolitics into your life like standing at a pump questioning your entire existence. Oil jumps, gas follows, and suddenly filling up your tank feels like financing a small yacht. I'm over here calculating mileage like I'm doing rocket science, wondering if I can coast downhill both ways to work. You ever notice how gas prices go up like a rocket, but come down like a feather with a fear of commitment? They climb like a squirrel on energy drinks and fall like a politician answering a direct question. And here's the grounded truth, hiding under all the jokes. This stuff spreads. Shipping costs go up, groceries go up, everything stacks like unpaid bills in a kitchen drawer nobody wants to open. People don't care about naval blockades until their grocery cart starts looking like a luxury purchase. The wild part is, they're already saying prices might not calm down until 2027, which is basically saying, buckle up, buttercup, this ride ain't over. At this point, I'm considering naming my car financial burden just so it feels honest. I might even start emotionally supporting my gas gauge like it's a stressed-out coworker. Segment 4. Government shutdowns and missing in action energy. Meanwhile, back at home, the Department of Homeland Security has been shut down for 52 days, which is the same length as this war, which feels less like coincidence and more like we're running a government on vibes. Imagine your job just not getting funded for 2 months, while everything else is on fire. That's like trying to run a fire department with no water and a strongly worded memo. And somehow this is happening while we're dealing with international threats, which feels like juggling chainsaws blindfolded while somebody keeps adding more chainsaws because apparently we needed variety. Then you've got reports of leadership issues at the FBI, people saying the boss is basically missing in action. And I'm like, great, so the people in charge of national security are playing hide and seek. The grounded concern here is simple. When institutions start wobbling, everything else gets shakier. It's like building a house on mud and then acting surprised when the walls start leaning like they just heard a conspiracy theory. Everybody keeps arguing about who's responsible while the foundation is over there filing for unemployment. Segment 5, storms, tragedy, and everything all at once. And just to round things out, because apparently we needed more chaos, massive storms tore through the Midwest, ripping roofs off buildings and tossing trees around like toothpicks. People getting trapped in basements, whole towns scrambling, and somehow we're expected to treat this like just another Tuesday. Nature really said, oh, you thought geopolitics was enough, hold my thundercloud. It's like living in a country where the weather and the news are competing for most dramatic storyline, and both are winning. Then you've got tragic violence at home, protests popping up everywhere, and folks just trying to hold it together while everything feels like it's unraveling at once. The honest truth is, people are stretched thin. You can joke about it, you can laugh about it, but underneath all that is a whole lot of stress, uncertainty, and folks just trying to get through the day without something else blowing up literally or figuratively. It's like trying to patch a tire while the car's still moving down the highway and somebody keeps yelling directions from the back seat. Segment 6. Global tension and the domino effect economy. Zooming out, the world is looking more tangled than a box of Christmas lights that spent a year in the attic with zero supervision. Other countries are watching all this unfold and thinking maybe tying their economies too tightly to one giant unpredictable partner isn't the best long-term strategy. When allies start quietly exploring backup plans, you know confidence is wobbling like a shopping cart with one busted wheel. Meanwhile, other global players are flexing their muscles, testing missiles, making moves, basically seeing how much attention they can grab while the spotlight is somewhere else. Here's the grounded observation buried under all this chaos. Instability spreads. When major powers escalate, markets react, alliances shift, and regular people end up paying the price in ways nobody voted for directly. It's like somebody else maxed out the credit card, but the minimum payment shows up in your mailbox. And the more uncertainty stacks up, the harder it gets for businesses, workers, and families to plan anything beyond next Tuesday. Everything starts feeling temporary, like the entire global economy is being held together with duct tape and cautious optimism. In conclusion, things feel like they're stacking up faster than we can process, from global conflict to rising costs to problems right here at home. The world doesn't slow down so we can catch our breath. It just keeps piling it on, And all we can really do is try to make sense of the madness. Maybe laugh a little, and keep pushing forward before the next headline hits us like a runaway shopping cart.